Okay, so when I was thinking about this, I've never actually recorded an introduction for this podcast. So, welcome to the Royalist King CJ podcast, where we talk about music of all kinds: pop, country, hip hop, trap, R&B, soul. Just overall, we're gonna take a deep dive into music, and just kind of see where we end up, and what conversations and what we can learn from the music that isn't so clear in the first listen. So, welcome to the Royalist King CJ Music Podcast, and I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so I know that this is gonna sound a little bit biased, but this is an R&B artist that, without a doubt, I love covering because the music is always impactful. This artist was also, as a child, was on an adult was on a talent show. And this artist vocally sounds amazing. This artist put out a song on the 18th of May, titled "The Journey." And if you aren't yet aware of who I'm talking about, it is the artist known as H.E.R. And H.E.R, for what I know, and I don't know a lot. I don't know them personally. But H.E.R.'s music is a music. H.E.R uses her music to break down situations that might be harder to look at through just one person's eyes. But it also it helps a lot of people in the way that she creates music. Because she's an American songwriter, that I think she's very passionate in what she does. And that's why she's nominated for so many awards. She has a lot of nominations and a lot of awards I think she should have won. But the song we're going to talk about today is her song, is "The Journey" by H.E.R. And I've been waiting to cover this a little bit. So, let's see what responses. We'll get right into this episode. So this song is roughly like 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Is what I believe it is. She starts off with "The Journey," and "The Journey," this chorus of somehow it's part of a plan. The journey, the journey, the journey is the chorus I've been hearing for months. I've been hearing this for weeks, and I don't know how this went under my radar, but that chorus has been stuck in my head for a while, and I was like, hey, who's singing this? I know it's her, but what song is this? Because I haven't heard this chorus before. And I also haven't heard this bridge where it goes, "Every step you take is one step closer along the way to the journey," which sounds like a motivational quote. But when it's sung, it has a certain kind of emotion. It pulls a certain kind of emotion out of you, right? And with this, I was like, okay, I know it's a H.E.R song, but I haven't heard this H.E.R song. Did it come out? So what I did was listen to it, and so I got it. I listened to the song, and it's H.E.R, "The Journey," and we're gonna talk about the first verse, which I think the chorus makes it a very powerful. The pre-chorus makes it powerful. The chorus makes it powerful. The bridge makes it powerful. But the verses are something that I love the way the song is built around it. She goes, "All the time you thought you'd never make it through, felt felt like the world just turned its back on you, didn't stop you." Right? And that in itself is a lot of people's it's a lot of people saying, is like, especially in certain situations where people are raised in terrible conditions. This isn't like a country specific, but it is. But it's the idea that a lot of people aren't born in like the greatest situations, and so when they get to these certain situations where they're able to do certain things, hey, a lot of people don't see it through. A lot of people don't see it through, and that can lead a lot. And this pulls away from the song, but it is a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people go through these songs and they go and it's weird. So a lot of people are when they get in terrible situations, or they grew up in terrible situations. A lot of people I've heard, I know personal stories, and I'm not giving names out, but they were like, "Hey, I think suicide would be better because I would be out of the situation that I'm in, and I might feel better because it might not be so much pain." And so they felt that the world was on their back, and they felt like they couldn't, like they just couldn't make it past that stage because it was too much of the world on their back, turned their back on them, so they couldn't like fight out of that hole. I'm part of that, right? Like I'm part of that small few people that try to make it out, right? I mean, everyone tries to make it out, but it's a mindset of it. And so looking back on certain situations, when I hear that line, it's very powerful to me because I have a direct under like a direct like emotional attachment to that line. But she says all the time you give in, you get all the time you could give in, you give up. Hey, when you're in a terrible situation, don't give up. Just don't give up. Just keep going, keep trying to fight the problem, solve the problem. Once you solve the problem, you don't have to give up. It'll be easier the more you give in. And that's somewhat true for some people, but that's not always a solution for a lot of people. The more they give in, the more they might lose. And this is the way I said it, might, and technically depending on how you give in and how you give in. For example, there's a lot of people that give in and try to make a rap career, and I'm not. Hey, this is not me, saying making a rap career or anything like that is a terrible investment, but it is to an extent where some people are like, hey, I can't keep making music because I'm gonna give up because I've put, I've heard some figures say they put 2,000 into their music, including studio time, and they were like, this isn't affordable. Like I can't. I have to give up because I'm not seeing that return on some of the music they're releasing, and I'm like, you got to keep giving into your passion because if you don't and give up, because the world is on your back because you're trying to make it away or you're trying to make it to mainstream, it's hard. It's hard to do certain things like that, and I think to a certain extent when we get into these lyrics, it's something. It's so impactful, and she said, and the times you don't know if you were strong enough, you still got through it. And this is that takeaway messages. Hey, there's a lot of situations that people go through, and when they are going through it, they're like, I don't know if I'm strong enough to make it through it. Then they make it through it. They're like, I went through all of that for a reason. It might not have been clear at that moment, but I made it through a reason. And I'm sorry if that sounds preachy. I don't mean to, but it is. When you have a connection with it, it's something. It's weird, especially when you have a connection to lyrics like this that are powerful, and you may not know it. It says it's the journey. It's getting there to where you're going. It's just hey, the situation and where you're going right now, where you're trying to be. There's a path. There's a journey to get there. As the old saying goes, it's better to go through the journey to your destination than just being at your destination, because you don't know the steps it took to get to that destination. And that's true here. It says going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. Like it's like you're going through the terrible situations. You're going through um this is an extreme, but if you're going through homelessness to try to make a better life for yourself because you're trying to save enough money to get somewhere, right? Like that's a real true issue for a lot of people. But they probably won't ever go. You know what? When I make it, when I make, I'm going through hell right now. But when I make it through, when I make it through the fire, it was a ride that was so unique to me that I just couldn't. That no one could tell me that I didn't do it because I did it. You're gonna make it through it. It's the fire that they can't put out. Like the fire and the determination, the motivation, the the idea that you want to make an impact is something that you won't be able to put it out unless you reach it. And so when you get there, it's gonna be I tell you first thing, it's gonna be a journey to get there. It is gonna be a journey. It's gonna be like punching through steel to get there. But when you get there, man, the journey to get to that destination is so much sweeter. To be at that destination where you are is just so much sweeter. all the times you thought you could, they could hold you back, but you've always known there wasn't a chance, and you made it. That's the thing. Like when you make it to these situations, and people say that's not possible. Why are you doing that? There's no reason to do that because, a common thing I've heard. Oh, that's not the norm. Don't do that. You shouldn't try that. But when you make it, there was no chance that you would make it, and you made it. Oh yeah, that's strong because you made it. You've made it, and to some extent, like they can't say you didn't make it. You made it. You made it. Like that is. Oh, that has to feel so empowering to go. Hey, I made it when the odds were stacked against me, and I finally made it. You made it. Like that is why I love this song. Cause it's like, hey, you made it. You made it through the struggle. You beat the odds. You did something that a lot of people weren't going to be able to do. This song is just. You're going with your heart. You can go further than you ever thought you possibly could. Prove them all wrong. Let me tell you something. This is something in which people do not understand. Like the thing that people say, and this is the thing I'm saying. It's part of the bigger plan. The bigger plan will always be, if you have a long-term goal, the long-term goal is, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be able to stop world hunger. I'm going to own a house. I'm going to own a car. That long-term goal. I'm going to complete a 4-year college. I'm going to do a 2-year college. Whatever your highest expectation is, like that goal of how you get there, your journey is gonna be unique. It is gonna be something that a lot of people are like, I didn't even realize that was an option. And so when you go to that journey and you reach that destination, you can give that information back so a lot of people understand, or you can be that icon for somebody that has a similar situation as you, to know that they can make it. But that fire that you have to make it to that destination, that motivation, that will, that drive is something that when you can say that you've made it or done enough and made it to where you believe that you've made it, you prove them all wrong because you made it. So that self-determination that you have, that motivation you have, just let it keep going. And that's what that fire is. And within you is that motivation. No one can put that motivation out of you. Now that's unhypocritical because people are like, hey, if someone tells me that's not the most common way, or hey, that's not the usual way. Fine, that's not the usual way, but that's how I think I'm gonna try it. Because that's not necessarily the traditional way. That's not the right way. That's not the typical way. But every way is unique, and to some extent, when you try to make it your own way, it's part of that bigger goal. It's part of that bigger plan. It's something that you always keep in mind. And for a lot of people, it does work out. And song's powerful. It's short. I will admit, this song is roughly, I think, 3 minutes and 50 seconds to 4 minutes and 27 seconds, depending on which video you watch. If you watch the lyrical video, but if you watch the actual video, it's like 3 minutes and 50 seconds. It's so powerful as a song, and I say this because people say, and it being titled "The Journey" is something that I find extremely unique about this song, because it's quite true. I think that journey and her speaking on the journey is unique, right? The way that she became famous, the glasses, the not showing, like it's unique to her, but she's done it. She's become so mainstream. A or B level artist, celebrity, I should say. A B celebrity. It's not. I'm not degrading her, celebrity wise, because I think she's an A class, A type celebrity. But to say that she made it, she did it. She was the first. She was one of the youngest to be on a talent show. A national watch television show is something that I just everybody's journey is unique, and this just being the song is something that I'm just like it's so remarkable, and it's gonna be a story that someone younger or someone overall that is just looking for something that tries a different, unique, or a unique way of trying to reach their goal is something that I adore, right? Because there are a lot of people that people look up to and are like, I adore this person, but it's not unique, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna try this traditional way. All right, that's the traditional way, but what about me? I'm not able to do stuff the traditional way. I'm not able to do something financially the traditional way, or I'm not able to mentally do something, or I'm not physically able to do something the traditional way. Then what's that for me? I just can't do it. No, your your journey is gonna be unique. That your journey to making something or to being something is gonna be unique because you and your own self are unique. And so, this song is so powerful because it's I told you I love a good message in a song, and so the journey is just one of those songs. And she produced this song. She wrote and produced the song by herself, I believe. She produced the song, and she's the artist. From what I believe, I think she's the only. She might be the only writer on the song as well. I believe everyone else. No, okay, okay. But this is remarkable. I think this song right here is one of the best R&B songs I've heard come from the United States in a while. I think this is one of those. It's a motivational song, and to my extent, I think this is one of the. God, I'm not saying that she's not. I'm not saying that this isn't. Uh, but it's unique. I do like the way that this song is put together. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. It's every time I hear the song from her though, it's something that I'm like, it's it's for a community. It's for her. It's for people. It's for people that really want to make a change and make a difference. It's not for people that are looking for like club music, but like true like old fashioned R&B. This is that song that I think will have a lot of people. It's you can dance to it as well, but this is also a song for overthinkers, a song for introverts. I think this song is just overall like a great package of a song. And am I overselling it for an 8 out of 10? Possibly. But I'm not selling you something that I wouldn't feel in this song. And this song, just the messages behind the song are so deep that I genuinely like this song. Now, when I say this is one of the best R&B songs of the year, possibly, right? Because I still have a few songs to listen to, but so far, listen to the R&B sound out of the United States. I would say this could possibly win Best R&B Song of the Year. So I do like this song. I think this song, depending on what they use the song for, I think the song would be great. But this song has a great message behind it.